Only 30 seconds to go. That's good. Turn the microphone on. Howdy folks, how are you all doing today? Once again, I've been marathoning a lot of Adventure Time today. My mind went poof, as usual. Right. So, today we're doing a Q&A. Feel free to ask me anything at all. Whatever you like. And I will do my best to answer these questions. How's the sound, by the way, folks? How's the sound? The tune, the music it's from an audio library. The waiting music. Jacob below, what would you say is your favourite episode of Adventure Time after your marathoning of it? If you have a favourite. I can't say yet because I've only been... Basically, I have watched Adventure Time before. And And then I got up to like a season, and it's not because I stopped liking it. No way. What happened was I went to a local quiz for Adventure Time, and I did so badly, so freaking badly. So what? I need to concentrate. Why am I not concentrating? So I did really, really badly, and I realized, wow, I've not been paying attention to Adventure Time. So I stopped, because I thought, you know what, if I did this badly, then I've really not, I'm not prepared for what's come next, because there's going to be probably lots of information I should have remembered. So kind of put it to the side. But then recently I was like, you know what, no, let's start from the beginning. Let's try to remember every little detail. Even the filler episodes I'm paying full attention to for clues and stuff like that. Because, like, the world building for Adventure Time is very complicated. But yeah, to answer your question, I can't say just yet. I can't say. I'd like to watch all 10 seasons and then decide. But for now, well, so far my favourite... I can't even say that. Honestly, can't pick my favourite so far. There's some really good ones. Like Thank You and Holly Jolly Secrets. Loads of favourites. Socialist Yorkshire Daddy. What's Wednesday's quiz theme? It's going to be cartoon villains. Cartoon villains. I'll be starting writing the quiz after this stream, actually. Boy, any thoughts on the new Captain America? If you're talking about that whole Falcon and Winter Soldier thing, I've not been watching it. After my MCU stream for the Film Chums podcast, I've just kind of stayed away from MCU because it was such a long marathon that it kind of put me off anything to do with that for a while. It's kind of like when you've had lots and lots of junk food and you don't want to order takeaway again. Where is the friggin' chat? Okay, Nick, I just watched No Country for Old Men not too long ago, and it was one of the most insane movies I've ever seen in my entire life. I've not seen it, I'm afraid. There's not a lot of Coen movies I've actually finished. I don't think I've watched any of them, now that I think about it. I've caught parts of them. Like, I've caught parts of Big Lebowski and Brother, Where Art Thou? That's it. I've caught bits of them, had glimpses. Autistic Fan, do you think you'll ever add your podcast to Apple Podcasts or any other app? Yes, we're hoping to move Film Chums to, like, other kinds of places, but we're trying to sort out an original theme song, because the theme I have at the moment, while I'm licensed to use it, I'd rather put it on a platform where there's not going to be any problems whatsoever. I could just everything I put onto like Apple or Spotify or whatever, me and Viva own. We can use it. It belongs to us. I'd like to do that. So kind of waiting on Karan to do a original theme for us. He's kind of struggling because he really likes the current theme that I got licensed, but we'll see. Jacob, what are some moments from Adventure Time that stood out to you? I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't know why I'm not. I can't think of any, because I've been watching like as many episodes as I can whenever I'm free lately. Like, it's the main thing I watch, and I don't know why I can't think of any moments that stick with me. Particularly love any kind of flashbacks with Marceline and Simon. Anything to do with that's won me over. Those are some of my favourite parts of Adventure Time. What others? I'm sorry, I can't think. I don't know why. This is probably why I've lost the quiz, because I just forget things so easily. Boy, why don't you wear your red suit anymore? Basically, what happened was that it got to the summer, and I was like, I can't wear the suit. It got too hot to wear, so I put it aside, and I don't know what I've done with it since. What also doesn't help is that I've tried to put the suit back on, and it doesn't fit me anymore, because I've gotten a bit bigger since lockdown. So yeah, if I am to get the suit worn again, I'd have to like buy a new blazer, buy a new shirt, all that kind of jazz. But what I want to do is actually what I'd love to do is just have like a selection of red clothes to wear. But at the moment I can't do that because the washing machine's broken. So yeah, it's pretty difficult to sort something like that out. Nathan, who would be your favorite Adventure Time character? Probably Simon. Probably Simon. I just find him to be the most fascinating to follow, and I love the kind of person he was before he was cursed as well. And I love that he had this paternal side, but also a brave side. Yeah, and it's just interesting to see how much of him is the crown and how much of him is him. And yeah, I think Ice King's probably my favourite. Probably Marcelina at second. Autistic fan, how many times do you revise everything before uploading? Just the once, really, mainly because of time. I have a very strict schedule, and sometimes I end up finishing videos when I'm really sleepy. So yeah, I try my best to like pay attention to everything, but I know sometimes I've probably missed something. I do what I can. All I can do is do what I can and pay full attention on my first watch through. I basically edit everything and then I play all back and just pay attention to every little detail to make sure I've not missed anything. Jacob, that sounds like a great deal. We can count on Karan. Hopefully. he's trying to sort something out on his end. I think he's trying to get like his own apartment at the moment, so he's very busy with that lately. After he's got a new apartment, he's got lots of plans, and he's hoping to actually like embrace a proper YouTube career himself as well. Evan, last night I just saw Raya and the Last Dragon. Enjoyed it. Awesome. I'm not gonna watch it until it's made available to Disney Plus users in general. I'm not paying 30. I'm not paying like 20-30 quid for it. No, that's too much. Yeah. Otis fan, what is a movie that you like but you don't think is ever rewatchable? I think I know what you mean. Like, I really enjoyed it, but I don't think I can experience it all over again. Oh, there's a couple I can't remember now. Damn it. Barefoot Gem, or Barefoot Gen, however you pronounce it. That's a film that I absolutely adored because of how authentic it was to a real tragedy. But I don't think I could go for that again. I really don't. And there's a sequel as well, so ooh, yeah. Jacob Lowe, what would you maybe consider doing a binge episode of Duckman? I know you're familiar with it, being a fan of Klasky Csupo. It's an excellent show, which I think modern audiences could stand to be reminded of because it's a really good adult cartoon. I've heard of Duckman, but that's one of the Klasky Csupo shows that I've not really seen. I remember it being on TV growing up, but I don't remember anything about it. All I do know is that I think Jason Alexander is the voice of Duckman. That's it. Maybe I'll get round to it. I don't know, because I'm so friggin' busy all the time lately. I'm very picky about what I end up marathoning. And I kind of owed it to myself later to watch Adventure Time. Coach Fan 13, kind of late for the usual time I appear on these, but as they say, better late than never. Hope you've had a good day, Jam. It's been an alright day. Like I said early on, I've been just marathoning Adventure Time most of the day. I did a bit of writing as well, but just mainly doing script writing. I've got to get on with watching the DCEU films very soon for the Film Chums podcast on that topic. And yes, I will be watching the Justice League Snyder Cut as well. I'm going to be doing all of them. I don't know how many films Viva's going to watch. Viva tends to just watch what she can when she can. I'm the one that's like, I'm going to do them all. Where are you, chat? Autistic fan, what video was the hardest to make? The hardest to make? Lord of the Rings. Any of the Lord of the Rings films, because there's just so many plots and so many characters. It's an ensemble cast with like really intricate world building, and everything feeds into each other story-wise. So yeah, it's tricky. It was really tricky. I found out of all the videos I've done, those ones felt like the most like a chore. They were so exhausting to do, so much to go through. Jacob Blow, well, wish him the best of luck on that. Appreciate that. Computer Guy, too bad Adventure Time didn't care about its main plot. That's why I stopped watching it at some point. A red wool sweater would go well with your current hat. You know what I want to go with this hat is, because I kind of based it on this, I want like a red Joseph Joestar kind of, like any of the JoJos really. Just take one, any JoJo costume I think would go with this, but find a red version, something like that. Because I picked this mainly because it reminded me of like one of the JoJo's hats. I'm not very good at remembering all the different JoJos. I've heard that Part 6 has also been announced to be adapted, which is making a lot of fans very excited. Still, I've only watched the first 2 seasons. I know I need to catch up. So yeah, red sweater though, I don't know because we're into spring now, and when it gets hot in England, it gets really hot. So yeah, chat. Where am I in chat? Where the frig am I in chat? Yeah. Goes from 13. Which franchise by now do you think is more influenced by other franchises rather than the original source material? Wait, hang on. Let me think about this. Which franchise by now do you think is more influenced by other franchises rather than the original source material? I know I've said this before, but definitely the Disney live-action remakes. When you watch those, they don't seem to have much to really do with the original films, and more to do with things like Lord of the Rings and or Hobbit, things like that. Anything that's kind of popular at the time, particularly with like things like Maleficent and Alice in Wonderland that are trying to go for like an epic grand scale. So yeah, I'll probably go with those. Autistic fan, have you seen Doctor Who? I grew up with Doctor Who, but I couldn't really get into the new version, if I'm honest, and I've not watched it since. I think I watched Christopher Eccleston, I got to David Tennant, and then I kind of stopped. But growing up, I mainly watched like reruns of like old black and white Doctor Who. I remember the Daleks being scary. Jacob Below, Barefoot Jen. Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Schindler's List is a movie that has made it on several lists of good movies that are too painful to revisit. Yeah, that's one I just don't feel in the mood. I don't feel in the mood to watch anything really dark or sad lately, unless it's a documentary. That's weird, isn't it? I can't watch any fictional films lately that are too somber. But if I see like a really messed up documentary, I'm like, ooh, I'm in the mood for this. Grab my popcorn. It's weird. It's really strange. Evan J. Sims, fun fact, I thought that the dragon in Raya was voiced by Cree Summer because of what she sounds like. Wrong I was. I think it's Aquafina, isn't it? Cooper Dude, I might pay the Premier Access fee for Black Widow, but a drive-in theatre near me is reopening this month. I'd go with... I know it's going to probably be like $30 or something, but like I go with Premier Access because of the situation right now. But then driving theatre, driving you might be safe. All I want is just people to be safe and people not to make this pandemic any worse than it is. Prioritize that over watching films, definitely. Question 13. What was your favourite thing you've dressed up for as Halloween? What have I even dressed up for Halloween as? I remember dressing up as Dracula one time, like my own version of Dracula. That was really fun. I like a Brillo cream my hair back and everything, and wore a cloak. That was pretty cool. I've not been very inventive with Halloween costumes, if I'm honest, because every time it's Halloween, I just don't have the money to like splash out. And yeah, I tend to just throw on some goth makeup and that's it, I'm sorted, and then I go out with my mates. Where are you? And why am I in chat? Evan J. Sims, I have all 3 Lord of the Rings movies on Blu-ray and plan to watch them all spring break. That's a good plan. I've heard, I don't know if this is an April Fool's or not, because it was announced at that time, but apparently Peter Jackson's going to release like an uncut extended version of all of his Lord of the Rings films because of the success of the Snyder Cut. So yeah, I heard about that. I don't think I'll be able to get through that. Jacob Below, I was fortunate enough to see Ride twice, no less, in my nearest theatre that is currently open. I was even lucky enough to catch a Dolby Digital screening of it for only $15, half of what Disney would charge for it. Nice. That'd be about 12 quid for me. Nathan, have you seen Adventure Time Web Weirdos? That's one of the episodes I watched today. I don't know what to really make of it, if I'm honest. Wasn't really sure how I felt about it. I'm kind of like, I'd probably even lean it towards one of the episodes that I didn't enjoy so far as well. Yeah, there's little things about that episode that are a little iffy to me. Autistic fan, are we allowed to request a season of a show, a miniseries with a pattern? Wait, are we allowed to request a series of a show / miniseries with pattern, or is it only one movie? I'm happy to take requests, but like I don't think I'm very good at seasonal reviews. If I'm honest, I kind of stopped doing those. I don't think I'm very good at writing them. Yeah, if I'm to do like a show, I'd probably just pick an episode, if I'm honest, or a show that's like got not many episodes. So yeah, feel free to request. Can't guarantee anything then, though. Oh, do you mean on Patreon? On Patreon, I pretty much I review anything. There's not really anything that I'll turn down for Patreon. If you've made a pledge, then like I pretty much owe you. So whatever. And like one of the next requests I'm doing for Patreon is a whole anime series that's like 26 episodes, so it's long. So yeah. I think Netflix's Voltron is an example of a reboot series that draws my influence from other shows than the original show it's based on. I've heard about Voltron, but I've not seen it. Computer Guy, dark times like this is definitely not the time to watch depressing stuff, I agree. Yeah, but at the same time I've been watching, like I said, I've been watching some really twisted kind of documentaries. But I know I've said this before, but like I love documentaries that are about scandals or cults, stuff like that. Just stuff where it's like something seedy has been going on behind the scenes. I'm like, ooh, what? I like those. With serial killer documentaries, it's kind of the same thing every time. But when you've got someone trying to put on an act and behind the scenes something's going on, I find that really interesting. Jacob Below, I don't think it's weird at all that you're not in the mood for something grim and depressing lately. I know the feeling, especially given the state that both England and America are in at this time. Yeah, I've not really watched any films lately, unless it's for a video, if I'm honest. Just not at the time. But, like, every time I'm thinking, okay, let's watch something, I'm always like, what, okay, is this going to put me in a good mood? I try to look for uplifting stuff or weird shit. What's his fan? Maybe to you, but oh, all right, okay. That's in the chat. So yeah, so Aquafina was the dragon in, right? My managed no. Hi Jam. And you think of a movie? Oh, can you think of a movie where one character is enough to make it a good movie? Ooh, that's a tricky one. Because it depends how good that character is. I mean, I'd probably go with Kronk's New Groove, because like Kronk's New Groove is not, it's not even a movie, it's just a bunch of like cartoons stitched together really, but like Kronk and Patrick Warburton's voice, that's it. I could watch Kronk doing anything and I'll be happy, because he's just such a lovable character. So probably going to go with that one. Sorry about my previous comment. An example of what I intended to ask is newer adaptations of Dracula and Frankenstein tend to take more inspiration from the 1930s movies rather than the original books. Sorry, my comment was typed out wrong. No worries. What is fan? If you were the person in charge of the movie Tiny Robots and were not allowed to cancel it, what would you do to make it better? I don't know, because I've not watched Tiny Robots since I reviewed it, so I don't remember what happens in it, and I don't remember the characters, so I wouldn't know what to fix, sorry. Jacob Below, that's an interesting question. Oh, right. I can't tell sometimes when it's someone chatting to someone else in the chat or it's a question to me. My man is Joe. Did you see the new Tom and Jerry movie? Nope. No interest in doing so. I don't see it being necessary. Really either, because like the hype for it's kind of died down now, so there's no point doing a video on it, and it sounds shit based on what people have said. So I'm kind of like, sounds like a waste of time to watch. Pep Boy, if you haven't played Minecraft, you haven't lived yet. I have not played Minecraft. Managed to know. Did you see Godzilla vs Kong? Nope, because I've not watched any of that, any of the MonsterVerse. I've been really busy, folks. I did plan to kind of like do something connected to the MonsterVerse, just didn't have time. Things just took over. Goes from 13. What famous people would you like to drink beers with at the pub? See, I've already had an experience where I've drank alcohol with one of my heroes, David Firth, creator of Salfingers. That was kind of enough for me, I guess. But beer, I'm not even a beer drinker. But like drinking alcohol with someone. Jeez, trying to think. It kind of depends on what the drinking mood is. Because, like, you either go drinking just to, like, relax and have a bit of a giggle, or you go drinking because you want a crazy time. So I guess it depends on the person. Maybe Brian Blessed. You never know what... I'm kind of curious what he's like drunk. Because he already seems drunk. So I'm probably going to Brian Blessed. But boy, what is the worst movie you have ever reviewed? I'm going to go with Disaster Movie. Yeah, because like Tiny Robots is bad, but like it had no potential to be good in the first place. But Disaster Movie, in better hands, could have been an interesting film, because like the whole concept, the whole premise of parodying disaster movies, that's fine. So yeah, if they didn't give it to Selzerberg, it could have been a good movie. Yeah. Otis Fan, what are your thoughts on style over substance? It kind of depends, because sometimes style can be really damn fun and you don't really think about the substance that much. So, and there's a place for that, and there's an audience for that as well. I just don't like it when a film is purely style and it pretends to have substance. That's pretentious. I don't like that. If a film was like, we're just stupid, but we're colourful and we're fun, go with the ride, I like that. That's sincere. That's enjoyable. That's proper entertainment. So yeah. Goes from 13. Since you mentioned you love documentaries about cults, would you like me to tweet you a video about Heaven's Gate, a cult that really took their belief in aliens to a whole next level? When you see the video, you'll understand the pun at the end. Yes, I know about Heaven's Cult, and I've been watching a documentary series about it already. So yeah, thanks suggestion, but yeah, I definitely know about Heaven's Gate, one of the more popular ones actually. Where the frig am I in chat? Pepper Boy, favorite Star Wars movie? In terms of quality, Empire Strikes Back. In terms of having some good fun, Revenge of the Sith. Where am I? Nice note. Do you think Jed Leto could have been a great joke if the dialogue and material he was given was improved? Not really. I'm not a fan of Jared Leto's Joker. I just don't get. I don't really get what he's kind of going for. I don't see the appeal, and the fact that he did lots of dickish things to his co-stars to get into the role, that adds to me not liking the performance even more. Because all I can think is, yeah, you just did shitty things. You're just a sociopath. It's just sociopath. I mean, like, Jared Leto's got his own cult. Speaking of cults, yeah, he actually has his own cult. I'm not bullshitting. He has a cult. I don't know if it's still going, but like, for most of lockdown, he was on an island raising a cult. It's kind of crazy, and it's weird that not many people brought it up. Where am I, chat? Otis Fan, what is the oldest movie that you like? probably the original silent Phantom of the Opera, which I saw that at a cathedral. It was sick. Me and a friend of mine, she was a singer, and I was like producing music for her album, and we saw that one of our local cathedral was like hosting the original silent film Phantom of the Opera at the, and it was so good. We grabbed a load of candy and just sat in the pews and watched Phantom, and it was just so cool. Such a great experience. And it's just a great movie, a really good movie. It's aged quite well. Boy, favorite Mario game. I've not played that many. The only one I have like really strong feelings for is Super Mario 2. I think it's called Legend of the Golden Coins or something. I had that on Game Boy and I loved playing it, and I loved the art style. Let's probably go with that one. Computer Guy, did somebody already ask you if you saw the new Space Jam trailer? If not, what is your opinion about it? Ugh, I'm not liking it. Like, it looks more fun than the original Space Jam, but that's not really saying much. And LeBron James seems more charismatic than Michael Jordan, but that's not saying much. I think my biggest problem with it, based on the trailer, is that there's just too much going on. It's cramming so much. And like, I can barely... when you look at it, it's like, what is this? What's happening? What are you going for? It's just crazy. Just craziness on the screen. And like, I also really don't like how you have Looney Tunes characters hand-drawn, and then they transform into being realistic as if... and that because it really reflects one of my annoyances with the studios and the animation industry in general nowadays, is that they think more realistic means better animation. Better technology means better animation. And it's like, kind of... doesn't mean hand-drawn is defunct or outdated. So, like, that's another thing that really kind of annoys me about it. But yeah, whatever. All I can feel at the moment is just whatever. Like, I wasn't really excited about it in the first place because I don't like the original. And then I saw the plot being described, and when it was announced, I was like, yeah, that sounds terrible. See the trailer, like, yeah, that looks terrible. So now I'm like, even more. Where the frig is it? Computer Guy, it reminds me a little of a goofier Ready Player One for some reason. Yeah, a lot of people have been comparing it to Ready Player One, and that's another thing that kind of annoys me, is that it just doesn't seem to be a Space Jam movie. It just seems to be another excuse for a studio to make another, like, shared universe kind of thing, whatever, because that's what's popular. Cooper Dude, have you had experience with a toxic fan base? Yep, loads, but I'd rather not get into that. It's one of the reasons that I stopped reading comments. Goji fan, do you find it strange that Moriarty isn't every Sherlock adaptation and is treated as his arch enemy, even though he only appeared in 2 Sherlock stories and his major role was a short story? If I'm honest, I've not really seen or experienced Sherlock in general, and I know I should, but like, my closest experiences with Sherlock would be that Basil the Great Mouse Detective and Tom and Jerry Meet Sherlock. I've not watched or read. I know the gist of him. Oh, and the first couple episodes of that cartoon where he travels into the future. But I do want to watch more Sherlock and read more Sherlock, because I'm currently working on my own animated detective movie at the moment, so I need to research, especially when my main character is sort of like a Sherlock-esque kind of character. Jacob Below, I think that sometimes style can be used as substance. I think Mary Poppins is a great example of that. Yeah, sometimes it can. That's the thing. Sometimes what you put up on screen can have a lot of contextual meaning. So yeah, it can be good. You can find a balance, but like I said before, my only issue is when a film overindulges in its substance but has like a sense of self-importance about it. I don't like that. don't make a dumb fun movie, then expect the audience to take it seriously. In other words, just embrace it. My thoughts on Tom and Jerry. If you took James Corden's Peter Rabbit's personality and put it into Jerry's body and took Peter Rabbit's constant need to be comedically hype and put it into the lead girl character, there's the movie. Yeah, that doesn't sound fun. Check below. Any movies you think for particularly interesting case studies, even if the films themselves are not great for even good? I don't you mean by case studies, sorry. I don't know how to answer that because I don't know what you mean by case studies. Do you mean like character studies or reviews? I don't follow, sorry. What is fan? Thoughts on 3D in movie theaters? I'm going to hold off my opinion on 3D because hopefully either the end of this month or the beginning of next month, I'll be releasing a whole video dedicated to 3D movies. It'll be like it's going to be one of my big videos. It'll be like almost an hour long. I'll be talking about the different examples of 3D by talking about I think 8 films. I'll be talking about 8 films, and each of them explore 3D in a different kind of way. So I'm holding off my opinion on 3D until that video comes out. That's probably going to explain it way better, especially when I've not really seen that many 3D films. So yeah. Coach Fan 13. Which director would you want to? Which director would make you want to be on the set when they are filming a movie? Wait, let me read that again. Which director would make you want to be on the set when they are filming on a movie? Thing is, most of those examples are people that are dead now. I'm thinking of all the masters. Like, I would have loved to be in an Akira Kurosawa set. Even though he spent hours perfecting things, I'd be like, the whole time, or like, just amazed at like his attention to detail. That's the kind of stuff I'd like. Because like Kurosawa is like a non-abusive version of Kubrick. Like, he wasn't a dick to his cast and crew, but he still was a perfectionist. So, well, as far as I know, he wasn't a dick to his cast and crew. But in terms of someone that's still alive, oh, I'd love to be on the set for John Waters' film. That would be so damn fun. But he's kind of stopped directing nowadays, so I don't know if that's an example. Jacob below, in regards to 3D, it depends on how it's utilised. I think, of course, it's been exploited so much in some of the more recent years to the point it's become a gimmick. It's always been a gimmick. It started as a gimmick. But I always found 3D to be fascinating, mainly because when I saw Spy Kids 3D in cinemas, I was like a little kid amazed by what I was seeing, and I was like, whoa, this thing's in my face, this is so cool. And I got really obsessed with trying to recreate 3D. I'm not even kidding. I spent a lot of my younger filmmaking years as a teenager trying to work out, okay, how does 3D work and how do I replicate it? I kept trying to do it, and the weird thing is that nowadays I could probably do it. I could probably do it under a day. And I know my younger self would be like, use it! I'm like, no. Ghost Fan 13. Which cult would you rather be a part of out of the Manson family, the People's Temple, Amshurako, the Branch Davidians, or Heaven's Gate? Fuck. I don't really know the... Can you explain who the Branch Davidians are? Because that's the only cult out of those that I don't know that... Wait, is that the Waco cult? It sounds like the Waco cult, and I can't remember what their deal was. But these all end in tragedy, so I don't know which I would join, if I'm honest. And I don't know if it's even a tasteful thing for me to answer, so I think I'm going to step away. My mention, I've seen a few Pinky and the Brain episodes, and yes, Pinky is a lovable idiot, but is he insane, as the theme song goes. I love Pinky. Pinky is one of my favourite cartoon characters. I love those kinds of characters. Characters that are just so joyful, silly, and goofy, but have massive hearts. I love those characters. They're my favourite kind of character. What is fan? Which cliche are you the most tired of seeing? I think I've said this before, but the cliche where the film feels obligated to make a man and a woman have a romantic plotline. You don't have to have one. They could be just friends. They don't have to be. They don't have to fall in love. They don't have to. And it's just it's over. There's nothing wrong with that kind of thing happening in a film, but it's just oversaturated. It's like every film, no matter what genre, they have to have a romance in there somewhere between a man and a woman. It's like, oh my god, there are other kinds of relationships. Favorite anime ED? Do you mean ending song? If you mean ending song, flip. Probably I'm trying to remember which one it was. The Chobits ending song I really like. That's a really cute ending song. Probably go with that one. Jake Below, technology is only as good as how you use it, like anything else. I agree that it's a shame that's how hard it is to find classic hand-drawn in mainstream nowadays, but I say you just got to look in the right places. That's one of the benefits of living in the age of the internet. Yeah, I 100% agree that, like, hand-drawn does still exist. It's still going, and it's up to us to find it. I totally agree with that, but I just don't like Hollywood's attitude towards it. And I feel like I can feel both these things. Where am I in the chat? Goji13, since you are wanting to get into more Sherlock stuff, I thought I should mention to you that there are plenty of Russian and Japanese Sherlock adaptations. Ooh, that does sound interesting. That sounds very interesting, especially when the detective animated film I'm working on it's a mech film as well, and I know for a fact that there's got to be a Japanese Sherlock mech. There has to be. Jacob Below. There are some movies that do showcase some unique techniques, like Spider-Verse, or even the painting sequences of Wonder Woman 2017. Yeah, I'm not. The thing I said early on about CGI, that's not me saying CGI is bad. That's just me saying that it seems to be the default now. It seems to be the only animation technique a lot of studios and the Space Jam trailer just gives off that vibe of like, oh look, we've improved the hand-drawn animation. We've made it look CGI and realistic. We've made it better. I don't like that attitude. That's what I have a problem with. It's Hollywood's attitude to hand-drawn. I'm fine with CGI. I love CGI. Especially when I've tried CGI myself and I found it incredibly impossible to do. So I really respect CGI animators. So please do not assume that like I have a gripe with CGI. My gripe is with Hollywood's attitude to changing technology. But that's my feeling about society in general when it comes to technology. Everyone has this idea, this impression that like as soon as we get a new piece of technology, the old piece of technology has lost all of its merits. Completely, it's useless now. We don't need it anymore. I don't like that because A, it's kind of insulting to like the history of technology and how it's advanced. Because like even the shoddiest kinds of technology were the stepping stones for what we have today. And there's a lot of technology that we used to use that still has a charm to it, that still can be used. But yeah, that just taps into a whole other can of worms. Hi, Zelda. My mention in 1998. Would you watch a Teen Titans spin-off about Beast Boy when he was still in a Doom Patrol? I'd watch anything with Beast Boy. I love Beast Boy. Beast Boy's my favorite Titan, so I'd watch it. A Beast Boy show, sick. I'd watch that. Autistic fan. Favorite board game? Damn it, I can't even remember now. Because before the pandemic, I actually used to hang out at a board game cafe with a bunch of, like, friends. And we played a lot of board games, and I can't remember them all now. Damn it. Oh! And I think I have it. Where is it? Oh. Dixit! That's what it's called, Dixit. So, there's a board game called Dixit, and how do I explain it? So, Damn, I can't explain it. Let's just say that it's like an art analysis kind of game. It's really tricky to explain, but like it's best to go on YouTube and see someone playing it. I'm terrible at explaining those kinds of things. It's one of the reasons that the plot synopsis part of my video is my least favorite part. I'm not good at explaining things. But like the game in general is just like, yeah, I need visual demonstration. I'm better at explaining things visually. Sorry, but yeah, look up Dixit. That's my favorite board game. I love it to bits. It's really damn good. It's one of the only board games that I have a chance of winning half the time. Or I also like, there's another board game that I really like. I can't remember what it's called, Passcode or something. But you've got a timer, and you have to like whack this disc that changes words, and you have to describe what that word is without saying what it is, and then you click it and you pass it to the next person. It's really damn fun and very funny. Where am I in the chat? Frig. Jacob below. When I say case study, it can pertain to anything like a character study, plot study, studying the production history, maybe something like that, for whatever reason, was held back from reaching its full potential. So like, basically you're on the road of like video essays, and yes, I have a planned video essay, sort of like what you're asking, like a case study kind of thing. I get what you mean now. I have something planned, and I can't say what it is yet, though, because I don't want anyone else to copy it. I know I'm probably being paranoid, but like, I just don't want to jinx it. But let's just say that the film is The Page Master. I'm going to be talking about an aspect of The Page Master. I'm hopefully going to do that this month. I've been planning it for ages. But yeah, there's an aspect of Page Master that I've always found interesting, and I want to dive into it. So I'm going to go with that for my answer. Computer guy. Oh yeah, Spike is 3D and even Sharpbone Lava Girl look awesome on the big screen. I don't know if I agree, because I watched those films when I was like 13, and I'm 30 now. I'm too old to remember. Did it look good on the big screen? Oh. Zelda, if you were in charge of writing a superhero story, what would you write? See, I actually really want to write and direct a superhero film. I really do. Especially since I've been reviewing quite a lot lately, and the more it started to make me appreciate them more. And my woman artist is a massive superhero comics fan, and she's been getting me into all sorts of kinds of like really interesting ideas. So I am interested in actually covering the superhero genre in some way. What I want to do is focus way more on the human side of superheroes. I feel like that just doesn't get explored enough with superhero films. Like, it's a part of the films, but like it's kind of like a side thing. It's kind of there. It's kind of happening. And I feel that the only films that have really nailed it are Sam Raimi's Spider-Man films. I feel like the only ones that really made you like really humanized superheroes the best, and like that's what I'm interested in doing if I ever write one. But the problem is I'm gonna have like the tiniest budget. I do have a friend though who is a stunt actor for film and TV, so hopefully I can get him involved, coordinate some good action for my superhero film. Yeah, it'd be a bit of a while though before I can do that. Where am I in the chat? What is fun? Have you ever had any pets in your life? Yes, growing up I lived with about 10 or 11 cats. We had a lot of cats. My mum was a crazy cat lady. we had so many cats. And we also had 2 dogs as well. But that's all I really remember pet-wise. My brother had some rabbits. And deviously, my family named them Hot Pot and Mixie. What else have we had? Yeah, mainly rabbits, dogs, and cats. That's all I remember. I remember getting sea monkeys as well. I saw your review of Teen Titans Season 5. You were right. The Brain was a weak villain. In the comics, he gets actual physical superpowers. There's a Doom Patrol live-action TV series, and the character Madame Rouge is stated to appear in the new season coming out sometime this year. I want to see live-action Doom Patrol, mainly because of Brendan Fraser. I love Brendan Fraser, so I want to see it for him, but I think Doom Patrol's exclusive to something, isn't it? It's like Hulu or Amazon. And I'm already signed up to enough streaming platforms. Ghost from 13. I just thought I'd let you know that I'm planning a graphic novel series about anthropomorphic animals in a very James Bond inspired series, with the main characters is a fox, and a part of the world is the wildlife of each country will be mythical creatures. For example, wildlife of Greece would be many mythical creatures from ancient Greece. I like the world you're building. I'll be very careful though, because I think there is something already called Agent Fox. There is an animated film, I think it's called Agent Fox or Spy Fox or something. I'm not saying change everything. I'm just saying keep it in mind, because my co-writer always tells me, like, just don't worry too much about being accused of ripping something off. I'm always doing that though. It drives him nuts. I'm always like, I've got this idea, but it sounds too much like this. And the thing is, you can twist it. You can twist ideas into something else. Which is fun. What is your least favorite genre? If you mean film or like television genre, I don't really have one. I don't have one. I'm sorry. I just don't. There's no genre that I dislike, and I can't even narrow them down to the one I dislike the most. I like them all equally, if I'm honest. Evan J. Sims, has your DVD copy of that Godzilla movie arrived yet? Nope, but it should do next week, hopefully. It's Mothra vs. Godzilla, the 60s version. My man show. While you thought the animated Hellboy movie was mixed, what's your general opinion of the character himself? I can't really say, because I've not watched the Hellboy. I've not read the comics, and I've not watched the Hellboy movies for a very, very long time. But I'm going to be doing the Hellboy movies for Puppet Panic this year. Yes. So that'll give me a chance to really dive into Hellboy as a character. If the character reflects the comics, that is. Yoshi from 13. There's even a Sherlock anime directed by Hayao Miyazaki where all the characters are dogs. Sherlock Hound. I want to see it. I really do want to see it. I think it's available for free on YouTube as well. Computer Guy. Chatting to someone else. Zelda. I would watch your superhero movie. I hope so. It's going to be cheap as chips though. Because I'm not going to be really crowdfunding anything for a while. As I know that as soon as the pandemic's over, all filmmakers are going to start to, like, crowdfund projects. So I'm going to be like, right, just stay out for a bit. It's going to be harder to, like, get funding. So a lot of my projects going to be super cheap. But I'll work with my budgets. Manager, after reviewing Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, who do you think is scarier, Scarecrow or the Joker? Scarecrow. I'd say Scarecrow is scarier because he's... Because I did praise the Joker for how he follows the principles of horror of, like, less is more, and that is scary. But with the Scarecrow, it taps into something more personal to me, and that's like a distrust of someone you're supposed to trust. From experience, that's horrible. That's really horrible. So that taps into my fears way more. I feel like I'd meet a dodgy psychiatrist more than I probably would come across a crazy clown man. So yeah. Evan J. Sims, but if you love Brendan Fraser, then how could you dislike Looney Tunes back in action? Well, the thing is, you can like an actor in a film and still dislike the film itself. It's like there's a lot of films starring my favorite actors that are bad. It happens. They're not mutually exclusive, is my point. Computer Guy, a Miyazaki animated show I could tell you more about because I watched it when I was older. I would be Future Boy. Oh shit! When I was older, would be Future Boy Conan, and this one is awesome. I want to. There's another Conan. Is it Future Boy? There's a Conan. Case Closed. There's Case Closed. I can't remember. It's a Japanese name, but Case Closed is a show I want to see. Ghost from Verdino, aware of Agent Fox thing. I'm not too worried about it, as I believe the general opinion of that film is that no one cares about it. I'm sure Conrad Castor, the main character of this series, will be very different, similar to James Bond, but I'll be sure he's different enough from good old Jamie B. Example won't be Womanizer. Yeah, again, I'm not saying abandon your idea. I'm just saying keep it in mind. Because my animated film that I'm working on, which is like a detective mech film, it's pretty much the same premise as a British cartoon that I've talked about on my channel before. So yeah, it's very close. It's eerie how close it was. I discovered the cartoon after I came up with the idea, and my co-writer was like, "Don't drop the idea. Take what they've done and do it better." And I thought, ah, so you're onto something. You're onto something. Go 13. What made you love Brendan Fraser? He's just so charismatic and lovely, and like he just seems like a really nice chap behind scenes as well. And Hollywood just really screwed him over as well. I really, really sympathise with how horrible Hollywood has treated him. It really look into that because it's so sad. And yeah, he just seems like a really nice guy. And every time he's in a film, he's putting in 100%. He's just so naturally charismatic. Especially in George of the Jungle. He's adorable in George of the Jungle. What's his fan? Thoughts on Death Note ending without spoiling it? I've not watched Death Note for like yonks. And I watched the original Japanese anime, and I watched the live action Japanese films. And yeah, I can't really say I don't really have any strong feelings about it ending. Good guy. Yes, Case Close is great too, but it's not the same Conan. It's not Conan the Barbarian as well. Overcooked Nerd. Hey, what's up, man? Tits or ass? I'm not answering that. That's not where my streams go. Right. I think I need to... I've gotten to the bottom of chat now, and it's been almost an hour. I've got to head off. I've got to start work on the quiz for Wednesday. So yeah, I better head off. So how do I block someone? Because this Overcooked Nerd is kind of being a dick in the chat at the moment. Anyone know anything about... Right, how do I... Oh, I think I've got it. Ban. There we go. Ban. Excellent. Banned. What a knob. I need to get an admin. I know who I want to be my admin, and I'm trying to work out how do I do this now. How do I do this? How do I friggin' do this? How do I do this? Be a nice thing to end the stream on. No, I don't want to block him. How do I make someone an admin on Twitch, folks? Got friend, gift a sub, ban, timeout. Where's the nice instructions? God damn it. I'm going to have to find out a way to sort out the admin. But I know how I want to be my admin. And they're in this call at the moment. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the stream, folks. It will be archived over on my second channel, Jambareeqi Highlights. Don't forget to subscribe to that channel. I also have a new video out called 7 Easter Special Cartoons, so feel free to check that out. And yeah, hope you all have a good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is